Well, the boy with the bird on his head wants to be my Hebegon field research assistant. So I said, okay, little bro, let's try an easy hike on Mount Zhao. We'll start you out there. We'll show you some Hebegon evidence. And you can also tour our 1,300-year-old lost castle that we have found. And we're still exploring and still mapping. So we start at point 1, the Great Tate Bordi, the vertical or standing moat or trench. Vertical trench. You can see it dividing the trees there. It's a big old trench dug up the mountainside to block lateral enemy movement. They were fearing Chinese invasion here. And defend the road up points 2, 3, and 4 to the keep at point 5. Across the trench, which we know so well, a tree has been broken. That's new. And on our side, someone has left a snapped, delimbed, peeled tree. This is a change and an addition since just last month. Just last month we were here. We crossed the trench to inspect that broken tree. Now, it's been broken in several places along its length. We see this on Mount Heba. In fact, we saw it inside the colossal solar calendar. You can go back if you missed that. Then behind me, there's this tree arch. That sapling has been pulled down and its crown pinned under a heavy log. It's structure number 1 in the beloved field guide. Not sure what this is. A tree pulled down and snapped in the center makes another kind of tree arch. And just beyond that, 2 timbers broken off at their bases. No roots or trunks here. No apparent origin. Spottily peeled. Carried in here and laid down together, side by side. 2 imported trees, delimbed, spottily peeled, carried in, and laid down side by side. I'll walk you through the scene just as we found it. Hunters and hikers, is this normal where you live, in your part of the woods? Would you consider this natural? Do you find so many manipulated and broken and peeled and imported trees all in one place?
So the multiple broken tree over to here, coming around. Oh, do not forget the tree arch. Coming around to this arch. And don't forget this. And these placed large timbers. All in one place.
We head up the next trench, which is also the main entrance. It's the Defender's Road up to the castle. Possible log lean here. Number 35, response to human boundaries. Could be a response to this 1,300-year-old stone wall. At the head of this trench road is this tree, crammed full of broken branches. That's a lot of broken branches jammed up there. And now it's time to climb.
Climbing up Mount Zell It's a happy day. I muted this video so you don't hear me puffing and puffing away. Hiking with kids is a lot of fun, even when you're a fat old son of a gun. Where else in the world can you explore and find megaliths and a lost castle and so much more? We're hot on the heels of the heat bygone. He might be Paranthropus robustus. That's the leading theory for some of us. When we find him, we'll ask him. But for now, the search goes on. Yeah, for now, the search goes on.
We greet an old friend in the new year. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. The boy baked an apple pie the night before and brought it along. He makes a really good apple pie, and I do appreciate that in a candidate for the Hebron Field Research Assistant unpaid position. Shown you these before, these triangles cut into stones. I'm pretty sure they're from the megalith people. This one near the top of the mountain face, which itself, the whole mountain face, is carved into a giant triangle. And this one from down by the Great Trench. Well, after we got to the top, we came down the back and around the ridge to Point 7, where the birds know us, and they're always happy to see us, and the feeling is mutual. Now we work our way down into the canyon of Point 10, and this is where we find most of our Hebron structures. But we've never come down this way before, and as we come down near the bottom, there is a series of about a dozen wedding cake tiered Kurawa fighting platforms. We reviewed those, what they are, in the last video. And right away, as we start coming down the tiers, what do we find? An imported piece of a ceramic teacup. Color, I think we can call it gray-blue, or blue-gray. Who on earth, I wonder, that is human, carries a broken half a teacup into the forest way off trail? You carry this half-broken teacup from your house on your hike, and then you hump way off trail and leave your broken half teacup here. Please tell me a story where our theoretical Japanese hiker, Keinosuke, does this. Why? And please make your story psychologically believable and understandable. Hey, we find a new X, new to us, on this new route. Maybe Keinosuke made this too.
So this was placed here. Look at this. Okay, that did not grow here.
Yeah, Keinosuke loves making timber X's and leaning peeled logs against trees off trail. It's his retirement hobby.
That did not grow here, and that's broken there. Just so much breakage.
Here you can clearly see the Kuruwa fighting platform walls. Lots of snapping, lots and lots at around the 6 foot, 7 foot level. Now here is our favorite X and our gifting X, and it's been snapped off here at around the 6 foot level. That was still alive with a crown of green leaves just last month. We look all around, and that's the only change that we can see. There's a head of one section of a vertical trench here.
不快な感じの声よ。あざますあざますスモールヒバゴン
We climb up, and the trench continues toward the back of the canyon. I've never found the end of it yet. I've shown you this imported tree before, but this stick collection is new. We follow above the trench, on the edge of the trench, and I've shown you this structure before. Keinosuke sure risked breaking his neck making this one.
かわいいかわいいかわいくないよかわいいかわいいのお子さんだったらかわいいやろ全部いや
Possible glyph. New. We want to go on and show our friend that I can only describe it as an ancient stone staircase. But the trail to get there becomes bare rock. It's very uneven. It's against the edge of the trench, and it's covered right now with slippery leaves. We don't want to break our necks, so we give up and head back and head out. But what is this? Near that, right beside that imported tree there, here's a dead, rotten standing tree. Well, there's nothing unnatural about that. It is largely peeled or debarked, or the bark has fallen off. That's all fine. But one detail strikes me as strange. Gravity, or a regular animal, would pull bark down, and an animal is going to leave some tooth prints, tooth marks. But this bark has been pulled up at about the 4.5 foot level, with no claw or tooth marks to show. Makes a man imagine.
Climbing up Mount Zell, it's a happy day. I muted this video so you don't hear me huffing and puffing away. Hiking with kids is a lot of fun, even when you're a fat old son of a gun. Where else in the world can you explore and find megaliths and the lost castle and so much more? We're hot on the heels of the he bygone. He might be Paranthropus robustus. That's the leading theory for some of us. When we find him, we'll ask him. But for now, the search goes on. Yeah, for now, the search goes on. We're hot on the heels of the he bygone. He might be Paranthropus robustus. That's the leading theory for some of us. When we find him, we'll ask him. But for now, the search goes on. Yeah, for now, the search goes on.